In June 1992, 25-year-old fellow New Zealander Raymond Ratima bludgeoned and stabbed to death 7 relatives, including 5 children, in the quiet rural town of Masterton, north of Wellington. This is a tragic story of lives cut short by a man driven by despair and poverty, who sought retribution from his family by murdering 7 people, including his children, before being overpowered. Raymond Ratima and his wife Tony were facing hard times at the beginning of 1992. Unable to afford increased rent and having 3 young sons, they moved into Tony's parents' home in Judd Street, Masterton. Raymond and Tony had relationship problems around this time, a fact that would be the main contributor to the events that were to follow. In June, after a serious altercation with his wife and family, Ratima was forced out of the Judd Street home. He felt his world was crashing down, and after looking to social services and lawyers for help and finding a place to stay, he was in despair. After days of little sleep and food, his mind apparently turned to revenge and murder. On June 26, 1992, Tony set off to meet her parents, Philip and Rebecca Ferguson, at a local pub, leaving her 3 young sons, Barney and Stacy, at home with her sister Nicola. Also at home that night were Tony's brother Philip, Nicola's de facto Bevan Tepu, and their son Steven. At 9:25 p.m., Ratima entered the house and stabbed and bludgeoned all 7 family members to death. The attack also included his 3 sons, whom he left dead on his wife's bed with a Bible on top of them. The other adult victims were piled on top of each other in another bedroom. The deadly visit continued as Raymond lay in wait for his wife and in-laws to return home, intending to kill them. Nicola's father, on entering the house, was attacked by Ratima with a softball bat, and Tony managed to escape and call for help. By the time the police arrived, Nicola's father Philip had subdued Ratima, fortunately preventing more from dying. The dreadful events inside the house that night will never be forgotten by the survivors and by the police who attended the scene. Ratima's fury and the dreadful loss of innocent lives will continue to haunt them all as long as they live. Raymond Ratima expressed remorse at his court trial, and the killings were quite out of character. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. The parole board today refused mass murderer Raymond Ratima's latest bid for freedom in 2008, noting that he was back on drugs. Ratima killed 7 people, including 3 of his own children, on a murderous rampage in Masterton in 1992. The board said that at a parole hearing last year, Ratima presented himself as a disciplined and articulate man who appeared to have overcome an earlier history of being an identified drug user. Sadly, that has not been the case. He had reverted to cannabis use, apparently blaming a date in his family. On June 25, 1992, Ratima, then aged 25, Ratima received life imprisonment on 7 charges of murder, 10 years imprisonment for killing an unborn child, and 7 years imprisonment for attempted murder. When Ratima was sentenced in 1992, the judge urged the board to proceed only with the greatest caution when the question of parole came up. Ratima, who is now 54, appeared before the New Zealand Parole Board via teleconference from Rolleston Prison last year. He had previously appeared in 2017, when the board ruled he should spend at least a further 4 years in prison before being considered for parole again. Although he was showing rehabilitation and strong progress in prison, the board stated, "We were not especially confident that Ratima had truly understood the circumstances under which he came to kill these members of his family, including not just his own children, but the babysitter partner and others," the report says.